Ever wondered if Outlander took some unexpected twists thanks to cast improvs? You bet it did. Let's delve into unscripted moments on the show and find out how it changed the lives of our favourite characters. The chemistry between Jamie and Claire. In the grand landscape of historical drama, war and time-hopping adventures, we can all agree that Outlander is essentially a love story. The fiery romance between Jamie and Claire is what keeps many fans glued to the screen. Remember that heart-fluttering scene in the Season 3 finale? Or that instantly iconic bathroom scene? If you've ever felt like the on-screen affection looked and felt incredibly genuine, you're not the only one.
It's real-life situations. Those real-life moments make it special.
The truth is, many of these passionate exchanges are the result of improvisations by Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe. Ronald Moore, the director, let us in on a secret. The team wanted a couple with palpable chemistry. After casting Sam, they took 3 long months to find the perfect on-screen partner for him. The first screen test was a crucial moment.
We were looking for chemistry between the two characters. We really felt that Kat was probably going to be the one, but this was the final moment. This was when she was literally sealed the deal and got the show.
The directors used a clever tactic during the screen tests. After a scene was done, they would keep the cameras rolling so they could capture the actors' interactions in a more laid-back setting. The spark between them was clear as day.
I lost my ring during that as well.
Did you?
Yeah, it went under the chair.
It's important to know that the actors have never been linked romantically in real life. Caitriona is happily married, and Sam has been in multiple relationships. The secret to their chemistry? They fully immerse themselves in their characters.
We've always tried to make it further the story along.
But when it came to the steamy scenes, the actors weren't completely left to their own devices. In Season 6, as the level of passion increased, an intimacy advisor was added to the crew. So it makes the intimate parts look real, while everyone is in a safe environment. Now, let's move on to a more intense moment of the show, which, shockingly, was improvised. The death of Randall. While most shows save their bombshell moments for season finales, Outlander decided to shake things up right at the start of Season 3. Yes, we are talking about the first episode and the bloody Battle of Culloden. The showrunners based this gripping episode on the real-life conflict that took place in 1746. To bring this brutal event to life, they needed 2 weeks of filming and 1,000 horses. Have you noticed how sunset imbues Randall's last stand? But it wasn't all about the large-scale battle scenes. According to Sam Heughan, it's the intimate moments that made the battle joined truly memorable.
That's why the death of the show's most menacing villain plays out, surprisingly, like a tender romance. And the most heart-stopping moment of Blackjack Randall's demise, that was entirely improvised by the show's not-so-secret weapon, Tobias Menzies.
That's right, all that raw emotion, it came from deep within. Vanity Fair even likened it to an almost sexual pas de deux. Menzies described it in one interview as a strange sort of dance.
It's a non-verbal sort of tying up of this story. I like the way it's come out. It's sort of a strange kind of half-dance, half-fight kind of embrace. I feel like it's a fitting end to this quasi-love affair.
Ready for another jaw-dropping detail? Randall's last act, his character's dying reach for Jamie, was invented by Menzies himself. Executive producer Matt Roberts couldn't have asked for a better addition to the show's dynamics.
Tobias, he finds things in the moment. And sometimes you just never know what you're going to get. He surprises you with something special or extra, and that's what makes him shine on camera.
However, Randall's final scene wasn't the only instance of brilliant improvisation between Sam Heughan and Tobias Menzies. Suffering like Christ. Outlander features a moment many fans labelled as the most heart-wrenching they've ever watched. They're referring, of course, to the harrowing prison scenes. More specifically, the episode where Jamie lays across Randall's lap in a pose reminiscent of Pieta.
So that's your plan? To submit, but like Christ on the cross? Well, we will see about that.
Can you believe that such a profound line was completely improvised? The director was so moved by the scene that he decided to include Randall's line in the final cut. Sam Heughan revealed that he and Menzies spent about a week working through their scenes, discussing the text and making any adjustments that they felt were needed.
We sort of did a rough blocking and worked out what was going to happen, where and how. But then, obviously on the day you just have to kind of go for it.
Needless to say, Menzies definitely brought a kaleidoscope of emotions to his character. Without him, Randall could have easily been just a stereotypical villain. His portrayal in the show even scored Tobias a Golden Globe nomination. But the show still has more moments of game-changing improvisations to discuss. Let's see what's next. Murtagh's farewell. One of the most heartbreaking episodes of Season 5, The Ballad of Roger Mac, was incredibly tough for the characters, actors and viewers alike. However, this scene is not full of the actors' improvs, but the screenwriters instead. Fans of the book series will recognise this twist. In the original novels, Murtagh dies in Scotland decades earlier. However, the show's creators kept him alive for an engaging storyline set in the Americas. This decision was a hit. The episodes featuring Murtagh were truly captivating. Yet viewers suspected his demise was inevitable, and sadly, it happened in Season 5. True to the books, Murtagh meets his end while defending his godson, Jamie Fraser. He breathes his last in Jamie's arms, his final words mirroring those in the novel.
Don't be afraid, Alec. Doesn't hurt a bit to die.
Murtagh star Duncan Lacroix has revealed that balancing the original story with the show adaptation was a good decision by the scriptwriters.
It felt like the right timing. I think, in a way, that's how we kind of postponed, but kind of stayed true to the books.
Later, the actor shared that it was a scene where he truly felt for his character.
It was a weird day. I'm not that emotional, but for the first time I kind of separated myself from Murtagh and felt really, really bad for him.
He also mentioned that the funeral scene was incredibly moving for him to watch.
Maria sings a song there, an old, classic Scottish folk song. It's one of the most haunting things I've heard. It made me blab a bit when she played it to me.
The actor felt the death of his character so acutely because he had become close to Murtagh. We can hear his improv in some scenes, even if it came at a price.
We try and improvise, but we're never allowed. The script's supervisor comes up and smacks us around the back of the head. I always manage to get a few takes, and then pass it off as if I don't remember my lines.
However, another episode suggests that the cast's input was certainly being considered. Jamie's red coat. If there's one thing Jamie hates the most in his life, it's the British. So many fans were caught off guard when he wore the notorious red coat of their army in Season 5. Interestingly, it was Sam Heughan who proposed this unexpected twist. He thought the red coat symbolised everything Jamie had been fighting against over the years.
Before we finished last season, I knew Jamie was on the side of the British, and I went to Matt Roberts, executive producer and the costume department, and said, could we put Jamie in a red coat?
Heughan got his way. He felt that this costume transformed his character.
It's amazing what a costume. What wearing a uniform can do. I wanted Jamie to look good in it. Powerful.
However, when it came to his dialogue, Heughan had to stick strictly to the script. Did he employ any tricks to alter his lines like Lacroix did? It's hard to say, but what we do know is that there were other cast members who had the liberty to improvise almost at will. Kids can break the rules. When it comes to the youngest actors on the set, the creators gave them the freedom to add their own flair to the show, specifically Romann Berrux, who portrayed young Fergus. He could improvise lines and actions in many of his scenes. Remember when he spontaneously grabbed a bun before leaving the room with Jamie? That moment is widely believed to have come directly from the actor himself, and we're glad it made it to the show. Such small yet significant details in his performance became iconic. It shaped the character of Fergus that we all came to adore. The situation was similar for the character of Brianna and Roger's son, Jeremiah. This role was shared by twin brothers Matthew and Andrew Adair. The 3-year-old boys alternated their appearances based on who was in the best mood at the time. Or in the worst one. For instance, the scene with the large bison required a child who seemed genuinely upset. So Matthew or Andrew simply had to express their authentic emotions on set. In the end, these surprising moments seemed to make the show a best-loved one for millions of people. Did we mention your most memorable or favourite scene from the show? Drop us a comment and let us know.